On this video, we're going to cover checking spiritual phenomenon in the body. So I'm going to go over with you detecting with the gong, Jing, and that is a very advanced method. Some people get it like that. Some people, it takes a while to pick up on the feeling. However, don't be discouraged. It's just a matter of sensitivity. It's just like learning massage. At first, you may go to a massage therapist and you may say, oh, how do you just know where to touch? And they may be fantastic with their kind of touch, and you just can't even grasp how they know without asking you where the problems are. Well, it's actually really, really simple if you have any type of time on the table touching somebody to find out, this is a lump, this is a knot, etc., etc. Same thing here, nothing different, So at first it may feel difficult. However, practice makes perfect. And so again, this is a more advanced method, the detection part, but I'm going to give you some simplistic techniques so that you don't have to test or detect. You can just go down the list and you can knock stuff out by going down the list. So again, making it easy for you. Shuntao once again. So we're going to start with Jeffrey again, and he's been helping me out with this whole Gong series. So we're going to start with the detecting. Same thing here. We're going to pick up the finger, and I'm going to squeeze the finger to get a baseline reading. Okay? In my mind, I'm going to say, give me a yes response. And then I'm going to squeeze Jeffrey's finger and release. I should notice that his finger should flatten, and I can feel the bone inside. Okay? Now, once I squeeze and release, I felt how squishy his finger is. When I say give me a no response and I squeeze, I should feel a resistance or a kickback or a tightening of the tissue. It's very, very subtle. And so, this is an advanced technique. It may take you a few times to get it. However, even just playing with it will help treat him. So you can't go wrong. It's kind of like learning Tai Chi. It may take a while to learn the movements, but that's the whole point. Is if you just learn the movements of the Tai Chi and then you never practice them again, well, you miss the whole point. You're supposed to practice it for the rest of your life. That's what you're supposed to do. It's always a work in progress. Perfection is unattainable. So the same thing here. You can always be more sensitive. Like one of my teachers said, you can always ground harder. So I'm going to check yes. Check no. Okay, I can feel the difference. So now I'm going to check for presences. Okay, the presence of any spiritual apparition, demonics, anything like that. So basically I'm checking for squatters. People who have taken up inside of him or outside of him. Or fragments of spirits, and we'll go over this in a few minutes of what the different types are. But I'm going to show you the technique first, and then I'm going to back up and I'll explain what the different types are and why. But the first thing we want to check is, are there spiritual presences upon him in some way, shape, or form? And that's what I say in my mind. Checking for spiritual presences in some way, shape, or form on Jeffrey. I get a yes response. It's very squishy, okay? And so the next thing that I'm going to check is location. Okay, are they inside of the body or are they outside of the body? So is it oppression, which is outside of the body, okay, or is it possession, which occurs inside of the body? And so we'll check: are they in the oppression? Okay, so they are in the oppression range. Are there some in the possession range? Yes. So he's got both. Okay. Now, you may say, well, he doesn't look possessed. Okay, well, just because his head's not spinning around and he's not, tearing his clothes off or something like that, does not mean that he's not possessed. Your body can be possessed without your soul being possessed. Okay, and I've covered that on other videos, so we're not really going to go into that too much. I'm just going to show you the techniques of how to clear this out today. And so we check for presences, and we got a yes. All right, now we check outside, we got a yes. We check inside, we got a yes. Okay, now the next thing we're going to check for is classification. All right, classification, it would be anomaly class, entity class, or demonics. Okay, and they're pretty much listed in that manner as far as their power and ability. Now, powers and ability may vary, but these are your basic types of classes, and I'll go over them in a minute. But let's go ahead and clear them out. Anomaly class, oppressing or possessing the body. Yes, that's your most common type. Okay, search for all, remove all, clear all. And now I'm just going to give him just a minute, and I'll explain anomaly class while this stuff is kind of breaking up off of him. And I'll explain oppression and possession. That's probably the best place to start. Oppression is when an energy, like an entity or an anomaly, some type of spirit, gets trapped in the Wei Qi field, which is like your aura field. It's like your energetic immune system. So they're not actually inside the body. They're just kind of like sitting outside, oppressing you. And that can cause depression and all kind of other stuff like that. And just generally feeling lethargic, or, oh, I don't want to go to the gym today, but I need to go to the gym today. That's a type of oppressive force. Possession occurs inside of the body and doesn't necessarily possess the soul, but can reside in the kidneys or the liver or the meridians, or just pretty much anywhere you can imagine inside the body. They can take up a home, and they will also take up a home in a very specific area, key to what specific type of energy base they are. Like, for example, fear-based spirits that generate fear, will settle in the kidneys as far as possession goes. Ones that are anger-based will generate, they'll sit in the liver, and this type of thing, and so forth and so on. You might pick up my video on how organs work, Introduction to Martial Science, goes over that a little bit more. So, and they have a basic, intermediate, and advanced on that. And so you might want to pick those up if you want some more education on it. So now that I have checked for anomalies, and I noticed that there were anomalies outside, there were anomalies inside, I'm going to recheck again. Okay, so I say anomalies outside of the body. I got a no response. Good. Anomalies inside of the body. I got another no response. Good. Anomalies pretty much clear out unless there's a whole bunch of them with one shot. So anomalies, hasta la vista baby. So now let's move to your entity class.